Welcome back to Myth and Reality, where today's case is about as explosive as it gets. Picture this: a man ignoring court orders, violating no-contact rules, and chasing down his ex-girlfriend to the point she crashes her car outside a police station just to escape. The defense says it was all just an emotional misunderstanding, but the prosecution paints a very different picture, one of stalking, threats, and reckless disregard for the law. We'll watch as the judge delivers blunt truths about choices, consequences, and public safety. But here's the real question: is this a tragic outburst of emotion, or a dangerous pattern that could have ended far worse? Stick around, because the twists in this one will leave you questioning everything.
Forget court order. I just do what I want to do. Don't work like that.
All right, I just spoke with the victim in my conference room. She elected to not make a statement herself, but she did ask me to advise the court that the events of this case and the following bond violations continue to terrify her for her own safety to this day. She feels like if the defendant is released, he would continue in this course of conduct and this would happen again. She wanted the court to know that through his actions and having to flee from the defendant on the September 3rd, she has lost her vehicle.
Here, the prosecutor explains just how devastating this defendant's actions have been. The victim isn't even in the room, but her life has been turned upside down, losing her car, her home, and even her sense of safety at work. That's the chilling effect of stalking and bond violations. The victim lives in constant fear. Notice how the prosecutor stresses that these consequences weren't random, they're directly tied to the defendant ignoring a protection order. Viewers, let me ask you, if you were in her shoes, would you ever feel safe again knowing he could just show up anywhere?
She is going to have to move now because she does not feel safe in her own home. And she's saying about finding new employment because the defendant knows where she works. Her whole life is upside down. And these are all because of the defendant's actions and not listening to the court's order, the personal protection order, nothing. And I'll tell the court myself, when this case all started.
Okay. That's the second time I've heard that particular sound, is it not? Sir, I've asked everyone in here to check their phones previously. Did I not ask that, Charles? Is that not the second time we heard that phone? Okay, sir, you have to go downstairs and pay a $25 fine and hand that phone to the court officer.
This moment might feel like comic relief, but it's actually important. The judge stops everything to find someone in the gallery for a ringing phone, because distractions undermine the seriousness of the case. It's a reminder, court isn't just about the people on trial, it's about creating an environment where victims, defendants, and the law are taken seriously. And here, the stakes are way too high to be derailed by someone's ringtone. That $25 fine? It's symbolic. The courtroom demands respect.
And I'm going to write up a consent order. Now, the rest of you, you better check those phones, because I'm not kidding. That's a real major disturbance, and everybody has the right to have their full attention, and my full attention, and everybody's full attention on these cases, and not on telephones. Okay. So she has opted not to make the statement except for what the prosecutor has had to say. What would you like to state prior to sentencing?
Your Honor, this is very personal, and I did discuss it with my client, and he does want me to share it with the court. Mr. May is not, it looks like stalking. I understand those messages do not look the best.
Now this is where the defense strategy takes a dramatic turn. They argue that the defendant's actions stemmed from finding out he contracted herpes, allegedly from the victim. But look closely at what's happening here. Instead of focusing on the criminal conduct, the threats, the stalking, the disregard of a court order, the defense is trying to reframe this as an emotional reaction to betrayal. The judge immediately calls it out. Health issues, however serious, don't excuse breaking the law. Viewers, do you think the defense is genuinely trying to explain, or just trying to distract from the facts?
Mr. May was upset when he found out that he contracted herpes from the complainant witness.
Oh, so this is the way to fix that? Just to keep on calling her and hounding her, going up to her job?
He never had any intentions on hurting her. He was scared and he was upset.
That's what a doctor's for.
I understand, Your Honor, but contracting something like that,
I didn't say it was a good thing, and I don't know if he got it from her or not. I don't know. He may not even know where it came from. But he said it's her. You don't fix that like that, sir. You can't. Nothing wrong with being upset, afraid, whatever. But you know what? That's what happens when you have unprotected sex with people. You get stuff. So you make that choice. That's on you. So you better make some better choices in your life. And instead of following somebody around, even if she did give it to you, that doesn't solve it. You know, you go see the doctor, report it to the health department. If you think she did it intentionally, go see a lawyer. See if you have a cause of action against her. But this right here, this the only thing it did was get you in trouble. What else?
Mr. May does have strong family support. His mother is here, his child is here, his father is here, his child's mother is here. I was just asking if the court would take that into consideration.
Strong family support. Well, why did he go to them when he found out this was the situation and lean on them instead of doing all of this?
He did, Your Honor. It's just, he just happened to be out that day and saw the complaining witness, and it went from there, Judge.
You wish to say anything? Let me let him say something first. Go ahead.
I think it was very stupid and emotional. I do regret my actions. I don't wish to harm Christian Reed. I did at one point love her. And yes, I was mad because she did cheat. And that's how I know where I contracted the virus from, because I didn't cheat on her. I didn't have unprotected sex unless it was with her. So that's why I get very emotional from. I never planned on hurting her. I never damaged her car. And me seeing her on September 3rd just set off an emotional reaction. I wasn't looking for her. I wasn't stalking her. I was actually just doing DoorDash when I seen her.
Listen to how the defendant tries to soften the situation. He wasn't stalking, he says, just trying to talk. But think about the context. There's a no-contact order in place. He knew any text would go straight to prosecutors, so he followed her in person instead. That's not miscommunication, that's a deliberate violation. The judge nails it here. If you think following someone after a no-contact order isn't going to reach prosecutors, you're fooling yourself. The emotional explanation might sound sympathetic, but legally, it doesn't hold water.
And when I seen her, I admit to following her, but I wasn't trying to harm her. I was actually just trying to talk because I know if I text her, it would go straight to the prosecutor. That's all. And I know.
You think following her wasn't going to go to the prosecutor?
I understand it was. I thought they were just trying to talk to her. I wasn't trying to hurt her. I was with two friends. I wasn't trying to hurt nobody. I was just riding doing DoorDash, and I actually did end up seeing her because I do DoorDash in rural local Southfield. So I seen her in Southfield, and I was just trying to talk. And she went into the police station.
Despite the fact there was a no contact order, you was trying to talk?
That's why I said I was stupid. My emotions took over, and I'm sorry. And I don't wish to hurt her or nothing like that. I never been to her job I know where she worked at, but I never been to her job to get her fired. I do wish she continued working there. I do wish she continued living her life. If you give me another chance today, I promise I won't bother her. Not a day in my life.
You know, I'm going to tell you something. These are some perilous times that we're living through in this life. You hear about these things every day of people following people, hunting people down, killing people. She has a right to feel very threatened by your actions, whether you say they're harmless or not.
This is one of the most powerful sections. The judge breaks down why stalking, even if the defendant swears he meant no harm, is so terrifying. Because we've all seen the headlines. What starts as just wanting to talk can spiral into violence and tragedy. The judge isn't just lecturing this defendant. She's sending a warning about how fragile the line is between emotional outbursts and life or death consequences. And let's be real, the fact that the victim had to flee into a police station to feel safe says it all.
Because this is the situation that we're living in these days. Why you don't think about that, I don't know, sir. But I do know one thing. She's not going to get killed because on my watch. And that's how things happen. No, you don't go in there thinking you're going to kill them. Some people do. Some people don't. And then they break. Just like you broke and start doing this, they break. And the next thing you know, person's dead. It's real and it happens. All because emotions get out of hand. So you have to sometimes learn. And I'm not saying if you did get, the virus from her, that's a thing that you should just blow off. It's not. That's pretty serious. But there's other ways to handle stuff like that. And trying to go talk to them, you might never get answers. Some things in life happen to people. They're upset, especially in a relationship, and they never, ever get answers about what happened and why. And you have to be ready to just move on to something better. Because if you get stuck in this, you're going to be stuck in the past forever. And she will be moved on. And you'll be stuck. And I don't see how that serves you either. So the bottom line is, with the other case, which is it's all kind of combined into a little mess here, but there was downloaded footage of her driving her car to the police department, and apparently you were just behind her.
Yeah, that's what I admit. I did follow her to the police department. I didn't know this. It don't matter where she was going. But like I said, I was doing DoorDash and Stalker. It's weird. We synced each other on 10 Mile and everything. So I followed.
And she's so upset she crashes the car.
It was raining outside. I do. I'm not saying that's the reason she crashed, but I did.
Okay,
follow her.
well, what about if you weren't following her? She wouldn't have crashed at all.
Right.
Yeah, has that part lost on you?
You right.
This part is chilling. The victim crashes her car while desperately trying to escape, airbags deploying, and still manages to run into the police station for help. That level of panic doesn't come from just wanting to talk. It comes from fear. The defendant brushes it off, blaming rain, but the judge points out the obvious. If he hadn't been following her, there'd be no crash at all. Sometimes the simplest logic is the most damning.
She gets out of the car and runs to the police department. You gotta wonder, why would she drive to the police department if she wasn't scared? She gets out the car, runs in. Then you turn around and leave after you done caused her to have an accident. The whole course of conduct is just reprehensible.
I regret my action.
What do you want to say, Mr. Shafton?
So the last thing I have to say on this, Your Honor, if you look at the timeline of this case on April 3rd, these alleged incidents had, well, no.
With the phone calls and the
Yes,
threats.
that brings the defendant before the court. This August 24th bond violation happens. I file a motion to revoke the defendant's bond for the violation for continuing the same conduct. The defendant is made aware of my motion to revoke his bond, and then these events of September 3rd immediately happened directly after. If the court looks at the text messages attached to my motion to revoke his bond on August 4th, it says specifically, if you go to the police, bad things are gonna happen. He finds out that she contacted me and went to the police to make a report of this continued conduct. He acts upon it. He's a danger to his victim and a danger to society. He has no respect for this court or this court's order or the order of the Sixth Circuit Court through the PPO.
Okay, gotcha.
He had a plan, he had a mission, and he was acting on that. It's not every day that a car comes barreling into the Southfield Police Department, crashes into two officers' trucks, and then, even though all the airbags just deployed, she rolls out of the car and runs into the police station crying for help. They find the defender a mile away, and all he has to say is, I'm out door dashing. He recognized her, and then once he confirmed it was her, he stated, saw her crash in the parking lot and then immediately left. We just left out the whole party, followed her probably a quarter of a mile down that parking lot from the intersection of Southfield Freeway. It's pretty far away from the Southfield Police Department to just be out door dashing. I can't care about the defendant more than he cares about himself, and his actions show that he doesn't care. I believe the maximum sentence is appropriate, and I never asked Your Honor to do that, only in very rare cases. But this is a rare case.
Judge, it's not a situation where he put a plan in his head and just went out looking for this individual. He was door dashing. He saw her, maybe made some wrong choices. There was no plan in place to go and do anything to her. After Mr. May received a motion, he was still very apologetic about the situation. He happened to see her out and
then still couldn't think. There's a motion. Let me stay away from her.
that was,
And then I was hearing the text thread. She said, can you leave me alone? I'm begging you at this point. He says, call the police more than your car getting fucked up. She said, then can you leave me alone? I'm begging you at this point. I'll leave you alone when I'm done.
Never did. I know my text messages were.
Sure.
Here's the smoking gun, the defendant's own words. The text thread is filled with threats. I'll leave you alone when I'm done. Bad things are going to happen. And even, you got to kill me or call the police. There's no way to spin that as harmless or emotional. This isn't just about poor judgment. It's about intent, menace, and disregard for the court's authority. The defense tries to frame it as a heat-of-the-moment reaction, but the judge is crystal clear. Those words speak louder than any excuses.
No, my text.
You can't explain none of this. These are your words.
Judge, at this point, I would ask if Mr. May just.
Oh, wait a minute. I know you think you was gonna hurt me and leave. I'm not letting you get away with that shit. I'm not going nowhere. You think you leaving me? Just know I got some shit coming to you. You want to leave, you got to kill me or call the police, because every whole shit you don't go have consequences. I promise you. You ain't trying to give me what I want. Most shit gonna happen. All this is on you. I'm gonna find that nigga regardless and do him bad, since you don't want to give me no info on this nigga, but telling him my business. It's a bet. And what you just called for. This just goes on and on. So, you talk about threatening somebody. We start out with what we have in this case that I read into the record. And then there's a bond violation that seems to be even worse. And I don't buy this. Well, he didn't plan it. Okay, so what if he didn't? Once he saw her, he went into full drive mode. Oh, let me threaten this chick. Let me make sure she know she got something coming. And I stop when I want. Forget the court order. I just do what I want to do. Don't work like that. So, I've already thought about this. Sentence of the court on this count of malicious use of a telecommunications device in a domestic relationship, 180 days in jail. I will give him credit for the time that he has been in custody on this. And there's going to be a fine. And the fine is going to be $925 with a $75 crime victims' rights fee, which is total fines and costs. Oh, let me do also, excuse me, a $200 counsel fee as well. So let's make that a $725 fine. A $75 crime victims' rights fee and a $200 counsel fee. Okay. There's a bond. We're going to apply that. I'm not sure how many days he has, but I see he was arraigned on September the 5th.
Then he was picked up on September 3rd.
Yeah. So we'll give him that credit. That's 10 days. And I think he was probably on bond previously.
Get $1,000.
So, and he posted that on the 4th of June. Okay. At the police department, did he? Yep. So it looks like by the time he got arraigned, he probably didn't do any extra time on that. So he's got 10 days credit, looks like.
Judge, did he spend 6 days in jail in April when he was first? 2 days.
April. I can't tell. The first thing I see in this file is June 24th. I don't see anything in April. So I'm sure they'll give him credit for whatever he's got.
No probation, right, Judge?
No probation. He's got bigger fish to fry at the circuit court. All right, that's completing that matter.
And there it is. The judge hands down 180 days in jail, fines, and no probation, making it clear this defendant's behavior has crossed a dangerous line. With credits for time served, he won't serve the full term, but the message is unmistakable. The court takes stalking, threats, and bond violations seriously. The bigger battles still await him in circuit court, but today's ruling ensures accountability and a little breathing room for the victim. So what do you think? Was the sentence too light, or was justice served? If you found this case as shocking as we did, hit that like button, share your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more jaw-dropping courtroom breakdowns.